You're on.
We are.
Yes, sir.
It's mighty nice to be alive and well, consecrated to your signature. Of course, on Tuesday nights, it's free your mind. Free your mind is all about being free, coming forth and blossoming and being able to live instead of just existing. When we do free your mind, we use the Bible. We go line upon line, precept upon precept, word for word. It's amazing and fascinating to me how much problems you cause when you bring out truth. And I find it also very funny how bringing the truth word for word cause a stir and cause people to be so upset, so bent on shame. Instead of realizing, recognizing it's all about freeing your mind. Because for so long, some of the concepts, some of the things that we said, some of the things that we embraced, if we really free our mind, we'll realize that just like thousands and countless millions of others, and finally realize uh, what's real and what's not. And we are grateful that our great and mighty, most high, and mighty, great and precious ancestors, the Holy Ghost, helps us in the right way, not in the fictitious way, and not in the way that has you to limit yourself and hinder yourself and getting captivated by making yourself seem insignificant and subordinate to something that really is supposed to be utilized by you, and you're not supposed to be imprisoned by it. So we go word for word, and I found that in the colleagues and the fellow uh, church goers and fellow preachers, teachers, and so forth, have a problem with those of us that go word for word and bring out truth. I find it funny how their mind is full of a lot of convoluted ways that make them not see the obvious and make them get mad when truth is spoken, truth is said. Along that line, join us this coming Thursday, next Thursday, yes, for Freedom Mind to Talk. Topics, subjects that we'll talk about, very, very instrumental and influential. We hope that you'll join us on our YouTube channel for Freedom Mind to Talk. That's going to be next Thursday, which is December the 4th, I believe. And we're looking forward to that. If you subscribe now, you get a notification so that you know what time we are on and we're doing things. Because we're going to utilize the YouTube space to the fullest. Thankful to any that have become new subscribers. Appreciate you. You're subscribed, you won't be in vain. Free your mind, everybody, and follow. Uh, if you're not logged in on tonight, we love you. We're thankful for you. Appreciate you. Stick with us. Where are we tonight?
Exodus 25.
Exodus 25. Who, anybody with us?
One person, but they haven't commented yet.
Exodus 25 is where we are. We are excited that we've made it thus far to Exodus 25. And when we branch out into other areas, this is one thing that I'm going to make it a point to do. Start in the Bible from the beginning, from Genesis. We started in Genesis, we're now in Exodus 25. Let's hear what Exodus 25 has to say to us tonight from the story.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, that they bring me an offering of
Speak unto the children of Israel that they bring me an offering. Go ahead.
Of every man that giveth it willingly with his heart, ye shall take my offering. And this is the offering which ye shall take of them: gold, and silver, and brass, and blue, and purple, and scarlet, and fine linen, and goat's hair, and ram skin dyed red, and badger skin, and shittim wood, all oil for the light, spices for anointing oil, and for sweet incense, onyx stones, and stones to be set in the ephod and in the breastplate. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may.
Do you hear the dynamic of how they do in church and how they do in religious organizations? in religious business, which is what some churches really are. Now keep going. We get to the building part.
And let them make me a sanctuary.
It's the make me a sanctuary. Now you're not going to dwell in temples made with hands, but you want one thing.
Right.
Go ahead.
That I may dwell among them.
Oh, my spirit will not dwell in temples made with hands. That's the same.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
According to all that I show thee, after the pattern of the tabernacle and the pattern of all the instruments thereof, even so shall ye make it. And they shall make an ark of shittim wood, 2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof.
You know, that ain't that big, right?
Right.
Y'all know that, right?
It's about the ark.
That 2 cubits, that ain't big enough.
It's not at all.
Go ahead.
2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof, and a cubit and a half the breadth thereof, and a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, within and without.
They're just lying about this. This is supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant.
Right. Right.
They got some new stories and lies and made up stuff about the Ark of the Covenant. Even one of the series that I managed to watch, the science is not even the same as the measurements in this Bible. So I can come up with something bigger than the measurements in this Bible. What the word? But what I want you to notice is when somebody bring the offering, bring you, this is one of the things that was embedded, and this is why people do the way they do in church. Notice they changed the focal point because in organized religion, it's money. That's right. But we see here that was the focal point. And according to the story that we hear, the Lord said, bring it to who? To me.
To me, yes.
This is where they get the concept of putting it in people's mind, you giving it to God. Then why is the pastor riding around in the Benz?
Elder hairs.
You giving it to God. Why is the pastor walking around with Versace suits on? Short ski, gables. I don't care what you punks think about what I'm saying. You crooks. Why are you taking all the money and telling people you're giving it to God? Why are you spending it on what you want to spend it on? Keeping yourself fancy, keeping yourself dressed up, you pimp. This is where y'all get this stuff from. But when they did it in the story, see how man can twist it and make it fit whatever he wanted to fit? When they did it, it was for a different purpose, right?
Right.
And if I'm looking at it correctly, this says that when you build a sanctuary, the Lord will come there and be with you. Right?
Right.
This is God, right?
Right.
No man else seen God at any time of living. They must seen him several times already. But my spirit will not dwell in temples made with hands. That's plain as day.
Right.
But that ain't what that says.
Mm-mm.
So all I'm doing is pointing out how it's so jumbled up, so tied and twisted up, you gotta free your mind so you can pick it apart and be righteous instead of just religious.
Right.
Because in this, they're not just talking about money. But in church, all they talk about is money. I remember some places we had things where we pound the pastor. And that wasn't about money. And that's closer to that than what they do now. And notice how it said the ones that give right. Right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
How you gonna depict that in today? How you gonna have a giver detect? You're right, we don't want yours. We don't want yours ain't right here. Yours ain't right here. And then you have some that say, well, if it came from this, it came from that. We don't want it in this church. Sound silly. You sound silly. But this is where they get it from. This same thing is, but according to this, God said,
Right.
we're not talking to these buildings now. What happened? Somebody put a muzzle on God's mouth? It's a story. care what the man about. Well, I've seen this and I've seen that. I know we have. I've seen it too. Heard it too. Free your mind. Let's see how much of it you know. Never mind. Keep going. We finding out some things right here, right now.
And without shalt thou overlay it, and shalt make upon it a crown of gold round about. And thou shalt cast forth 4 rings of gold for it.
Watch it. I ain't seen that yet. Even the picture they draw and the stuff they show, I ain't seen that right there yet. The measurements be off. They done got these little series where they show the spot where they think that's where it is. Then they show another place and they say they think it's underground. They think it's in the Vatican. All these things about the Ark of the Covenant is here and there and here. But listen, let's cut this foolishness out. Come on, be for real. Somebody built something in accordance to what they read and saw. And other groups did the same thing. There are several of them. None of them are the same size. None of them are the same measurement. None of them are exactly like what was just described to us. None of them are. It's very easy to look at a book, read the story, and mimic and copy what you see and say, look, real right here. It happens all the time. This ain't nothing new. Ain't nothing new under the sun. This ain't nothing new. There are several replicas that are saying this is the Ark of the Covenant. It's as plain as day. Duplicate, copy, mimic. It's the same thing. And the one they said they found, evidently something they done lost its juice because they ain't no priest and they were touching it and ain't nobody there. So they didn't quit telling these fictitious, Lord, lies. And just tell the truth. You remade it, you redid it, because you want people to fear it and have a reference for it, and you want to give them the same feeling that's in the story. There's several of them all over the place. There are even spaces where they said won't sit. And they claim the real one is in the museum. What the real one? They're about as creative as Hans Christian Andersen. Y'all remember him? Good storyteller. Go ahead, please.
And put them in the 4 corners thereof, and 2 rings shall be on in the one side of it, and 2 rings in the other side of it.
Sure.
And thou shalt make staves or staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. And thou shalt put the staves or staves into the rings by the sides of the ark, that the ark may be borne with them. Staves shall be in the rings of the ark; they shall not be taken from it. Thou shalt put into the ark the testimony which I shall give thee, and thou shalt
What's going on there?
the testimony.
A testimony. A testimony. It's talking about commandment. That's what it said. Go ahead.
And thou shalt make a mercy seat of pure gold.
Mercy seat. Oh, the mercy seat. Go ahead.
2 cubits and a half shall be the length thereof.
Y'all don't think that big. Y'all know how much, y'all know how much a cubit is?
A forearm, like it says a man's forearm, is what I just read.
How many feet is a cubit? One and a half. Because 15 cubits. Wait a minute, no. You know what? It ain't 1.5 because the water level, when they talk about the ark, is 22 feet above sea level. So it ain't 1.5. That's all right. Somebody Google it. So I can show you this ain't that big. The first time I saw the measurements, I said, oh my God. This ain't as big as they say. And how you had trouble carrying that?
It says a cubit is 1.5 feet.
I was right, 1.5. I remember reading it. Because when I read it, I had to compare and I had to convert the art from the story and the water levels from the story, and I started laughing. You cover the whole earth 22 feet above sea level. That ain't the highest of mountain. And I was laughing. That show you how great God is. No, that show you how great a story is and how much influence it has. They keep rehearsing. Now here we get the measurements for what's supposedly on the covenant, and you see, did it say 2 cubits?
2.5 cubits shall be the length.
That's what, 4 feet?
No, that's the mercy seat.
The mercy seat is 4 feet?
The mercy seat is 2.5 cubits.
2 cubits and 2 cubits and a half?
Yes.
So that's what, 3.5 feet? Or is that 4? 3.5?
2 cubits. Yeah.
What? That's how big the mercy seat was? You want a whole lot of mercy? But I'm looking at the measurements, and this thing's supposed to be something that causes the problems carrying.
It is. Pastor John, this is what this.
This is supposed to cause people trouble carrying. I tell you, they done made so many different arms of the company. Them lights and biblical, they're not but a bunch of plagiarized foolishness to make your religion seem more plausible, make your religion seem more vivid and more exclusive than the other religions. It has no bearing on holiness, it has no bearing on righteousness, it has no bearing on spirituality. It is a box of trash as far as I'm concerned, and I don't care who don't like what I said. It's been messing up people's lives for years, and it's time out for this foolishness. There are a bunch of them all over. There's the Ark of the Covenant. That's the Ark of the Covenant. According to them, that Ark of the Covenant, I got a little box that I'm going to show you when we do spirituality that's more powerful than that Ark that's about that book. And it came from folk to do evil. But I have it in my possession. And if they think they so holy, I'll open that box in their church. It'll shut them down because they're not what they say they are. They're not what they say. Anything they bad check, talk junk and say I can bring it to your church and leave it there and open it in the middle of the floor. I guarantee you in a week, won't nobody be coming back to that thing. Because they don't, it's just like this Ark of the Covenant, it's supposed to be so powerful, you ain't supposed to touch it. That's why they did the rings to put the spades, so they put it on the shirt and carry it for me. So now we find out it ain't even that big. But you see these specials where they have large, medium size. They got so many of them things, it's just like somebody copied an action figure. You get little ones, medium size, tall ones, giant ones. It's time you to free mind and be free and stop being fearful and stop thinking this stuff really happened, this stuff really did not happen. These are stories. The way they tell these stories, when they put into those tools in the cave, they should have dropped things. But they didn't.
Right.
Time to people to free their mind. Stop being mad and be righteous instead of relying trying to do something. These measurements are comical. If you're trying to lie and fabricate, why put the measurements in the book?
Minister Pace.
No, we're going to convert the measurements. You know how they show the people selling stuff where you see it look big, or you get or kill.
Right.
I remember Wallace, they did that. They were selling stuff and the stuff looked big when you got it. Look. I remember they did that. Took people money and no. And let's go. This is where they get these concepts from, and I guarantee you, they be looking for it and searching for it and wasting people money and getting paid to go on play lying, fabricating, and tore up people's land, tore up people's sacred tombs, tore up people's. Why y'all all you archaeologists that's following these lies and fabrications ought to be in jail? Gonna lock you up. If somebody go dig up a grave, they go to jail. Y'all want to be in jail. for desecrating the burial sites and the tombs, desecrating the sacred burial grounds. Y'all want to be locked up because most of your findings are fabrication and lies and a lot of stuff that you tell people, you tell it to fit your lie to make your lie sound better than the other lie. That's why all y'all debating and arguing now. But I'm here to tell you, all of it ain't nothing but a wet fart. It's a story. It's about as powerful as nothing. But I got a little box that can shut down your church because you can't do nothing with what's in it. Go ahead.
And a cubit and a half the breadth thereof.
Uh,
Thou shalt make two cherubims.
Now, this is the mercy seat. But we need to find out what this mercy seat does. Because we know what they do in chaplain. And the ones that put the mercy out, they the ones that need more mercy than the person that got sick to sick. Go ahead.
Of beaten work shalt thou make them in the two ends of the mercy seat, and make one cherub on the one end, and the other cherub on the other end. Even of the mercy seat shall ye make the cherubims on the two ends thereof. And the cherubims shall stretch forth their wings on high, covering the mercy seat with their wings, and their faces shall look one to another. Toward the mercy seat shall the faces of the cherubims be. And thou shalt put the mercy seat above upon the ark.
So the mercy seat is supposed to be on the ark.
Mhm.
The mercy seat is supposed to be on the ark. Well, where the heck is the ark when they pull it out in these services?
Mhm.
And the two cherubims on each end, they're supposed to be in a new position. And the wings of the cherubims are supposed to stretch out. Oh, I've seen the designs and the drawings, and I've seen it. I've seen their little schematics, but the bottom line is some of them have it dressed up, trying to make it more fancy than the other ones. Some of them put flames on, all kind of stupid stuff. Seen one with the sun on it. Just like 96, living in fantasy. Keep going.
And in the ark thou shalt put the testimony that I shall give thee.
Mm-hmm.
And there I will meet with thee, and I will commune with thee from above the mercy seat.
Now see that? From above the mercy seat. Now we're finding out that even the purpose that they use the mercy seat for, somebody made that up. Somebody came up with that dynamic. Somebody came up with that procedure because we creative and intelligent people. But it does not match what we're seeing here in this Bible. Get mad all you want, it don't match. It's not a match. So when you use the mercy seat, according to what you just read, the mercy seat has a significance of you being able to commune with God.
Mhm.
Oh, go ahead.
From between the two cherubims which are upon the ark of the testimony, all things which I give thee, I will give thee in commandment unto the children of Israel. Thou shalt also make a table of shittim wood. 2 cubits shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof, and a cubit and
This how it became a communion table, by the way. This really got it. They transposed and changed it to later become the communion table, which the communion is a man-made up concept itself because the original communion came from the Eucharist. The Eucharist came from the Eucharistos. The Eucharistos was used as a ritual for pagans. It is blood oath because Eucharisto loves to eat flesh and drink blood. So to celebrate Eucharistos, you have the flesh and the blood. They changed it to the Eucharist because the Catholics called it the miracle of the Eucharist and they made it Mass, whereby they say the cracker transposed into meat when you put it in your mouth. And folk ignorantly believe this crap. And the Protestant church, or the man-made Christianity church, which ain't nothing but Catholics anyway, came up with communion to make it the Lord's Supper, eating of the flesh and drinking of the blood, but it's still a pagan activity. So stop calling other people pagans because we operate in paganism ourselves. Cut it out. Pop can't call the kettle black. You done lost some mind. No, you done lost yours. My mind's free. I ain't in the matrix. You are. So now you see this little table later became this big table. See, you notice they have something. And then as they further along, it's just like advanced technology. It's just like upgrades. It's just like enhancing stuff. In order to keep the influential story going, in order to keep the state and the power and the potency of the mind games going, you have to change some of the stuff. So let's hear about this little table.
And a cubit and a half the height thereof. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, and make thereto a crown of gold round about it, round about. And thou shalt make unto it a border of a hand breadth round about. And thou shalt make a crown, golden crown, to the border thereof round about. And thou shalt make for it 4 rings of gold, and put the rings in the
How
four.
many representations of the gospel do they have?
Four.
The goal was transformed by the church to put what over the table? A white sheet, purity. Go ahead, please.
In the 4 corners that are on the 4 feet thereof. Over against the border shall the rings be for places of the staves to bear the table. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, that the table may be borne with them. And thou shalt make the dishes thereof, and spoons thereof, and covers thereof, and bowls thereof, to cover withal.
Hold right there, please. What does remind y'all of?
Okay.
The communion. Listen to the utensils. Don't they treat communion the same way? The little set, you have to prepare, pray over it, keep it covered up.
Right.
It has to be sacred, it has to be different. The cups, the tray, the bread plate. No? Well, actually now they don't care. They use bricks. And so, but look at this same thing. Look at how they doing. Is this not the same thing?
Yeah.
They just upgraded and changed it to say now it means this. It used to mean this. That means that. It's still ridiculous and full of bondage. Keep going.
Of pure gold shalt thou make them,
Pure gold.
and thou shalt set upon
Pure gold. They want to steal their gold. All the trouble. Go ahead. He ran. Oh, please. Come on.
and thou shalt set upon the table shewbread before me always. And thou shalt make a candlestick of pure gold. Of beaten work shall the candlestick be made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knobs, and his floors shall be the same. The 6 branches shall come out of the sides of it, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side. 3 bowls made like unto almonds, with a knot and a flower in one branch.
Excuse me. In this movie, in the temple.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 bowls made like almonds in the other branch, with a knot and a flower. So in the 6 branches that come out of the candlestick. So in the 6, okay. And in the candlestick shall be 4 bowls made like unto almonds, with their knops and their flowers. And there shall be a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under 2 branches of the same, and a knot under the 2 branches, under 2 branches of the same.
What church take our time to do all this other than Catholics? And they take it a step further. Most churches don't give a rat's butt about these details. Nobody say we in the New Testament, not the Old. No, you in both. Who takes our time to do all that right now? That was then. But what you do now? Right? What I'm saying is, you can't benefit by what this book says if you're not doing what it says to do to benefit. So you can't hardly complain and murmur because even what this book, this magical, mystical, mythological book says, you can't, the reason why the things ain't happening, because they ain't gonna happen. This was not made for it to really happen in private times in your life. It was made for you to read the story, get enchanted by it, get captivated by it, hyped up by it, and try to make those things happen. People spend a lifetime mimicking and copying their ministry and lying in church and in these religious businesses to make people believe they got a higher height and deeper depth in the next place. They got it more right in the next place. Bring that crap right here. I'm not a wizard, but I am somebody to shut you down with all of your foolishness. Because some of you do have a little bit, but this was all designed to make it the rat race and the what's what I want. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. And the collective mess that it has caused. It was designed that way. If you read the stuff and look at how they got all these details and broken down, you'll find some of that everywhere you go in these businesses. You won't find it totally, you find pieces of it. You find enough of it to where it can influence the people, make them feel like they're above the people down the street because they use the unleavened bread and they use the wonder bread.
Minister Boyd and Mother.
Go ahead, please. Bless you.
According to the 6 branches that proceed out of the candlestick, their knops and their branches shall be of the same, and it shall be one beaten work of pure gold. And thou shalt make the 7 lamps thereof, and they shall light the lamps thereof, that they may give light over against it. And the tongues thereof, and the snuff dishes thereof, shall be of pure gold. Of a talent of pure gold shall he make it, with all these vessels. And look, that thou make them after their pattern, which was showed thee in the mount. That's the end of 25.
Now, can somebody look up 66? The number 66. Uh-huh.
When I think about the story,
Yeah.
one, we went back and we were describing and stuff like that. I think, like I said, it's a story, but it seemed as though when he wanted to sell it, it's like, okay, well, it's like telling a child a story. And when a child a child don't believe whatever you say, they don't know if it's real or not real. But not expecting you to grow up one day, to go back and say, okay, well, this is fiction. No.
Now, don't you just blew it out the water. How did Ted come to church?
As a children.
What they put a emphasis on called children church. You ain't never been with women. We don't want to say, good God, but that book say, ye children. Come as children. Understand that? Children. But then the motivation came with that fellow named Paul. I can't wait to get to the testament.
And one more thing I want to say, another thing is too, when I look at all this, and you set this up and everything, okay, you want to make it seem as so fancy. You put so much effort on this and detail of how it be, but everything's going to be shiny and gold. To me, that is like to be like a show. You know what I'm saying? It's something to make it seem so extravagant or whatever, maybe. To make it seem as okay, we're doing this and we take these things right here. This is supposed to be something like so holy, because it's gold. They don't, and really, to me, and you set it in your place and everything. To me, you set in your place to get raw, place like a jewelry, place of, a jewelry store with got all kind of gold and silver. Because it's supposed to be something, you make it seem it's so, extravagant.
Well, the significance of the gold, that gold is, remember, that gold is considered precious.
Yes.
And then, but it ain't that person's.
Not-
It's value. The value of it go up and down.
Right.
But the money system is controlled by God.
Yes, but when they make it seem so, this is something so sacred. So, okay, so sacred, to make it seem as though, oh, we gonna do this and God ain't said about like that stuff. What else?
Go to that fix.
Yeah, what else? What else? That's right. You can do a lot with it. But to make all the stuff right here, I think, like I said again, to me, it's vain images, vain, because it don't really put no significance and meaning to me, because what this was man thinking, to be something that's not God. This is all y'all, this is your new, this is all y'all going to think that it's the right thing to do. But like I said, when you come in now you come to a place like that, okay, remind of all the stuff that I made, and it's in all this beautiful and all the ignorance. Where you gonna see God in? What you gonna be scratch? One thing you're gonna do is shine. Oh, that's real gold. That's gonna catch your attention.
You ever walk in a large Catholic cathedral?
I have
If you ever walk in one of the lodges, you'll never forget it. Ever. You'll never, ever forget. Anybody?
I see TV.
You'll never forget. Because as soon as you look up, let me tell you, when you walk in one of the big ones, where they got it dressed out, it's breathtaking when you first walk in. The parishioners that follow the Catholic, they just walk in because they're used to it. But when you first go, and then if you sit down and watch the procession for the mass, oh man, with the priests coming in, altar boys, oh goodness. You never forget. You might not go back to see it again, but you'll never forget it. And the people are not even fazed by it no more. They've been going so long. They sit like they're waiting on the movie to come on. They don't even look back when they come in, like they just sit on the new people because they haven't seen it. But it is breathtaking when you go inside and see how high the ceiling is. There's a height. They got gold and chandeliers. It's sparkling, glistening, glittering. And someone got this big picture of Jesus to mimic the first one that Michelangelo did in the back. And it's like climbing and get to the top of a mountain. The whole scenery is captivating. And it gives you, if you're not careful, it'll give you a sense of saying, oh, this is my head. And it's a good point you brought out about it, but all this stuff, that's why most churches could give a rat's foot about the whole Bible. Most pastors don't want to break down word for word because there's too many questions to explain. Too much explaining that take place. So what we're doing, they say, ain't no need to do it, but it depends on who you're in front of and where you are. So the significance, that's why they say come as a child. Just, oh, children.
Elder Baron.
Children are captivated by stuff, and that's how they want us to be astonished, captivated, marveled, mesmerized. They want it to be breathtaking. They want it to be like a fantasy. Call it fantasia, like a fantasy. So it's a shame that they derive this from all these different religious books and writings and stuff, but their intent almost worked. Now it's falling apart. We're spiritual from birth.
And can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I've never thought of it until Sister said something as a children's story to captivate a child's mind with it, but it's like it makes it seem so real that grown folks
Seem so real.
so
That's right.
that grown
That's right.
folks have been drawn in, just like the children's story, you know. And I'm just going back to how I was when I was little,
Yeah.
and going back and having stories being read to me, and I'm like, ooh, wow, that really happened. And they'll say, yeah, it happened, you know, and it becomes right, you know, and believe in it. And so now that you said it, now like, you know what? It seems like a children's, except some stuff, you know, is adult.
Right.
It is, they have adulted it up.
Came adult.
They put more dope in the transmission.
Yeah.
It's my God gonna get him. I just explained to somebody that miraculous stuff, it ain't because of the Bible. That's not a knock on the Bible. I'm using the Bible, but I'm not gonna walk around with my hand on it. I got people that are sick right now that are dedicated to this Bible, even under them, because they think they're going somewhere and hang out together in the sky. They can't get along down here. But never mind. You said the other man had something.
He just logged on with prayer hands.
Oh, oh, okay. Bless you. 66.
Oh, 66.
It's actually a blessed number. It is. Isn't that why they talk about the spirit of 76? They really want room 66. 66 is actually a blessed number. But they had to make it seem like there's something wrong with 6, so they gave you 3. Sign of the jackal, sign of perdition, the sign of the devil, the sign of the Antichrist, 666. I made somebody look stupid. Like, you take that sign 666. I said, well, turn upside down, it's 999. It looked at me. I said, so how we to know which one it is? You just know. You just. People scared of 666.
You right. Yes.
Oh, that's the second of the devil. Who told you? Who told you that? That's the devil. That's not the jackal. That's the devil. Why don't you look at what a jackal does?
Across. Then you say a cubit is a foot and a half. Ain't that 18 inches? Ain't that 666, 6 times 6? 6 plus 6 plus 6. I'm just asking.
You get in trouble in church for me.
I'm just, it just,
I got you. I got you now. I'm with you.
it just came to mind. I'm just,
It's true though. They hide the stuff. I'm telling you. Somebody, look, that's why the younger generation, they need to deal with them because they sharp. They're quick to dissect this stuff. You know, they catch on quick. I kept warning people. Don't throw away the younger generation. Don't do it.
right.
They're quicker, they're sharper, they're made to be quicker and sharper. And those individuals, oh my goodness. Mm. They're gonna start experimenting on something else, trying to steal from them. Then they'll do it. Be a steal from them. Amen. I mean, you wrote that down.
It just came to mind.
Hey, he said something wrong with it. 6 times 3 is 18. 6 plus 6 is 18. No. Now, we don't have any comments or questions, but this right here that they did here, this is what they later upgraded when they came up with another story and had to call it the communion and all this. Notice there's a table involved and there's bread involved. Never mind. Never mind. And they're candlesticks. right? What you do with chemicals? With what?
Fire.
Fire. What is fire? A purifier, right? So the fire takes the place of the blood.
Mm. Mm.
The purifier in the next story is blood. But here it's the fire. Because even in the story as it goes on, it talks about removing what? The candlesticks. For no flame, no purification, no purifier, no refinement. But you upgraded it to this other story and now it's in the blood. Mm. They don't want none of this. They talk their way. I can break down the table, the bread, the rings, the forecourt, why they use four. That's right. Why they use 4 seasons, why they use the solstice, the winter solstice, summer solstice, spring solstice. Some of them say it don't exist. You say it don't exist because that's your way of not having to deal with it when somebody questions you about it. But if it didn't exist, then the story that you have about worshiping the sun, it wouldn't exist. Because that's where that came from. No. So that's the end of 25.
Yes.
Another big chapter full of a bunch of information. My goodness. But in that is a whole lot. That's where the ritual comes from. That's where mass came from. That's where communion came from. That's where, that's where it comes from. Now, notice the dynamics of this when the priests have to go in, they have to wash their whole body, right? In the church, when they do it, and they do wash nice stuff, they don't wash nothing but the feet. Because that's what the Lord did, and dried their feet with time. Well, y'all do each other's feet. Ain't no one person doing their feet. Mess with me. One time we did it, and you had to have partners. And you wash their feet, they wash your feet. And I don't know if you remember, but we almost had to break a fight. You remember that? No?
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
One person was going to do the person's feet, but not let them do their feet, because they said they weren't ready. The person said, what you showing me for your father? Okay. They got to a little back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And calm them down.
It's the feet wash.
Wow.
And calm them down.
Mm.
No. So they didn't want their feet washed until their feet probably had hammer time. Their feet probably looked like the incredible feet. They were shaving their feet. But they made the person feel like up to the time that they were washing your feet. Because you had to fit, you had to have partners. I mean, we were doing stuff. It was all every stuff. But when them big old figures we saw, I've been one laid across. Remember that?
Oh, the pulpit.
Yeah. Those are my ancestors. Remember they got this thing where they said before the stock market crash, they saw a big tall Africans walking around. That's the thing.
A big tall what now?
Africans, they call them Africans. And some of them try to call them natives. They said they saw them, but everybody didn't see them. I told you, when I learned how to do that big tall, they can't live that mask on. Now, I'll tell y'all the truth. You ain't gonna do but learn it, 'cause ain't no door right there. I was behind the tunnel. Ain't no door. Yeah, that big old thing. Had that mask on. You start beating this thing came out. My thing was, I was looking like, is this thing coming to help me? Or is this about to be a problem in here?
saw but you, right?
Ain't no door.
You the one saw it, right? Nobody saw.
Well, nobody else here.
Oh, okay. So this is the same one that came and said they were talking to.
No.
No.
Oh, no.
Okay.
We were caught, the one that laid across, we were called the Michael.
Yeah.
And come to find out, we right, but that ain't an angel. We're right, but it ain't an angel.
So everybody.
The Catholics use Saint Michael. We're right, but it ain't no angel. They transposed it, they changed it into being an angel, and an archangel. It ain't no angel.
So when you came in, what was the significance of something happening?
But they were teaching me. And when I wasn't playing right, he stopped moving. When I wasn't playing right, when he was teaching, he stopped. But when I was, he was moving. Yeah, ain't no door right there.
Did that weird you out?
No, I learned what a petrified tree feel like. Honey, I was petrified. You know,
I'm scared.
no, stuck.
Stuck.
Like, what the? I am not, no, I'm like, no, this ain't real. But the rich was up there cutting grass. And he heard something in him. And when he described it, I said,
But back,
he ain't lying.
so when the one came and let it pop, let it pop. What happened? Did something happen?
What?
Or did,
The person on that end fell out, and the person on that end fell out. The boys started screaming and was bad all the time and run through the building. And the ladies who couldn't move their arm, the man said, oh, remember that? That thing flipped me out. Every man's arm was stuck like this.
It's on Restream.
But he was moving that arm. He was screaming. One of them walked around the building. I said, the preacher out there came back. He ain't never forgot that. He said, he don't let you smack them on the step. Because it lit up. Because it was dark back there. But it lit up. It caused him to see back there. We had some experiences. That's why I told them, we ain't on there. We ain't on there. They got to make up stuff. No, we experienced this stuff for real. I told you the storm came and hit. Ain't nobody had power but us in that building. All the churches was out. But that building. We ain't making stuff up. They got to make up stuff. But we just found out that what we were credited to saying it was something else. And see, I was sharing with somebody that they are amazing because that's what it is. No, they know what they do.
But did some come in Lawrence? To me, I felt like
Listen, all of the time. We never were without.
Yeah, I felt like it was present, but I didn't never say anything. I didn't.
They're still on the grounds up there. They're calling the poor. You know, they're still on the grounds up there. People say, oh, yes, they are. Till we leave. People say they crazy. Okay, come and see. Well, why y'all read all the ones free your mind? Don't free don't let free your mind. So this is where they got this from. This communion, the mass, the Eucharist, the Eucharistos, all of it ties in together. But the Eucharistos was first. Because Eucharistos was pagan, was a root. And the ritual to celebrate Eucharistos was eating flesh and drinking blood. That was the thing. So I ain't trying to stop. I'm just telling you. Where you say it came from and where it came from. Now, Merry Christmas. I know I'm getting cussed out when it comes to that. But they just need to hear what I'm saying. I ain't trying to criticize, let nobody do. I'm just giving people some truth on enlightenment in spite of what we were taught, what we were led to believe. But you just found out by looking why some emphasis is put on the bread, the tray, the cups, now the beverage, you know, that's why the emphasis is put on. Those cups and those beverages, they got candlesticks. Let me ask you a question, because you just read it, right? Where the drink?
I haven't seen no drink yet.
Where the drink at? Ain't no drink? It ain't. Just and wine is significant, for sure. But here we found right there where it came from. But according to the story, it came from the Lord. But not even there was it called the Lord's Supper, was it?
No.
And there's a slight discrepancy here because this said that it was built for the Lord to come in to be with him. But all day long it says that the same God said, my spirit will not dwell in the temple made. Okay? I'm just saying. What time is it?
8:01.
8:01? Okay. What's the first thing in 26?
Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains.
Okay, we're still talking about, okay, one thing we're going to find, and we're going to stop there, and we're going to talk a little bit. You'll find that the reason why these sanctuaries are immaculate, the reason why people fix them up, dress them up, adorn them in the fashion that they adorn is because of this. This is where it comes from. Everything from the fancy chandeliers, the curtains, the colors they use, the scheme, color scheme, the layout, you'll find it, see, it's in there. You took our time to tell people how to lay out a building, but you ain't take our time to tell people how to get out of the spiritual life. Hmm? So actually, we're gonna stop here. So if anyone has to go, that's fine. Just the only thing I'm gonna do is say a few things to sum it up. Uh, Appreciate everyone. We don't have service again until Sunday, right? I hope everybody enjoyed uh, your time at home. Enjoy. Don't eat too much, but eat good. Those that are watching, much love to you. Appreciate the time you take. Tell somebody, come and subscribe because the Thursday of Thanksgiving, November the 4th, December the 4th is the day you will free mind to talk. That's the time we're going to take to talk about some subjects and topics in depth about today. Yes, that's right. So we want you to continue to go forward. Anybody have a comment or question or anything you want to say before we get ready to adjourn? Yes.
Okay, these folks in what, just, well, these, like.
Oh, the chair. Yeah. Yeah.
These are the things that is governing the governing, it doesn't want to really find out the white pig.
Yes.
Okay, so my question is, um, if they got something, where is it supposed to be? I mean, 'cause-
The claim is underwater.
oh, it's be underwater, oh.
But I done said time and time again, and people look at me funny, but somebody messing around and found out I ain't lying. What you call Africa, from that point all the way up to what you call Asia, all of that was called the Garden of Eden.
Okay.
All of it. Asia used to be part of what you call Africa. All of that was called the Garden of Eden, heaven on earth. All of it. Somebody, and they messed around and dug and kept digging until they found it. I said, and they heard it. I asked somebody, sir, hey, sir, I said, you ain't crazy. I said, you found it. I'm like, no, I can't go look for it. I'm sitting in the classroom, I ain't gonna go there. But if they did, they'll find it. Some of the stuff like, oh, but then it comes out. I'm like, we found out something that we were talking about. Came up, what was that? What was that?
Um,
That we were talking about today, but what that today?
um, I don't know. I don't know what we're talking about.
We were talking about something that manifests and they're talking about. And he said, I remember when that was brought up. I mean, I'm glad that we're on the journey we're on, but I'm saddened by the mindset of a lot of people. I'm really sad about it. And then what was the hard part about it, you have people that's supposed to know better, let somebody tell them something, and they run with that instead of talking to you. I don't get that. Why not talk to you and let you tell? Instead of somebody saying, oh, he was satanic worship. Before y'all leave, walk right up to that person and say, hey, you just said you was satanic worship. Then school. School. Wait a minute. You using what's Lucifer as your focal point. So who's the satanic worshiper here? Because according to you, Lucifer's supposed to be evil. Well, what you bound down to got all the Lucifer's titles.
Right.
So watch your mouth. I respect your junk. Respect mine. Respect my junk, I respect your junk. Now, come loud, say nothing. I ain't mad at you, not against you. You can have all the within the feelings all you want. While a lot of folks dropping dead. Wake up.
See the thing, not to think that things so special or not special. But when I think about, because like I said, I had to thing that doing, do it all, another thing that y'all have experienced, have went through, and also endured. But when I think about a lot of other places, not just in this area, many other places, they don't even have an equal, will not even experience some of the things that y'all have experienced. And when you have ancestors showing up, um, they're not just showing up in the building. And if they coming in, they come out to me, it feel like they're coming into something they know is real. Because I don't think they show up in a lot of places. They don't show up like that. They don't visit, they don't come in like that. And there's a reason, they have to come in, because like I said, there's many buildings, there's buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
But these people, and when I think about it, like I said again, it took a lot of them, it's not concerned about the spirit, the soul, they're only concerned about the money, the titles, a lot of things that they're concerned about that, like I say this all the time, when I go back and I look at, you know, um, service after service, service after service, people a lot of times, I can't understand the life of me that they go in and out and they get like that, for so long. They know that there's not that changing. There's nothing that, that they're not really their lives because when I say, okay, you gonna go on and you gonna get that word. Okay, they gonna give you false hope. They gonna preach your hat for a little while.
Yes.
And you go back out and you go do the same thing over and over and over again.
Yes.
Year out. Yeah, unfortunately, that's just how sad it is. But if you had to go and do, just ask questions and and do some. Let them do a questionnaire. they cannot say that they have even experienced what we experience and get what we get to make their life better, to change, to grow, to think. You know, they don't get that.
Right.
And that's why I simply say, to me, I'm so glad that I'm one that always felt within this just cannot be. This got to be, it got to be more. And then what they had us so locked in, because like I said again, when we first, was in this and we went through, I know I went through some different kind of emotions, but I was eager to come back to get more, get more because I felt that, the more truth came, the more knowledge come, I feel better. I feel better. I'm feeling better. I'm feeling, I feel light. I feel better. And my thing, and then now, it's just like now, okay, but now I got some sense. Cause I feel, cause I felt like now I look back, I have no sense back. Right. And
Oh man, but that's a powerful thing you just said. Cause we both walk around like silly, but
yes, I mean, really, this, what I feel, I can't quite explain it sometimes, but I just know that it's real. And my thing is like I feel like I said, I mean, sometimes I don't see ancestors. I don't see. I don't think I know someone, but but I always, sometimes feel afraid or whatever. But my thing is, and how I feel now, because to I want to be able to like listen to this, be able to listen more. And when it comes down to um talking to someone, helping someone, because like I said, people are in change and stuff like that. But to have something, to be an eye opener, to when I do talk or when I do say something, so they can maybe think for themselves,
yes.
and not so much to beat them down, but okay, wait a minute, okay, well I challenge, not supposed to challenge, well, rethink, but they have to be open up to it, because like I said again, when you told us to do what we did, when from that day forward, when you said put your hand in your head and out, it was just like scales took it off,
Free your mind.
yeah, like it was like scales just hit on some I open and and I like what?
You know
And then
what's funny?
when I went back in there,
I ain't touching nobody.
no, you didn't touch nobody. And when I
did it for me.
yes, and when I started going in, I know I be laughing sometimes. I be laughing. I'm like, what? And I mean, because I can see. I can really can see now. When they try to say, well,
Can I tell y'all what happened that day?
please,
Are you still back?
We are.
It's fine. Um, remember that day, I believe it was Kim and Isaiah and who else? I think, wasn't it three of you? And they were up front together, and when we finished, they said, "If I like you, what is it?"
Oh, yeah.
It was just two. That's what happened. I can't explain 100%, but my ancestral been teaching me more and more. Man, I'm trying not to use the word weird and strange, but oh my goodness, I had no idea. I mean, my ancestral line actually did start now. It actually did, and there was a mixture of the three prominent tribes. That's why I have the knowledge that I have about this nation, and that's why. And it really flipped me out at first that I was saying this stuff, and I was wondering where I got it from. It's just like somebody that's born in Japan, they don't come out speaking English, you know. But that day, what happened was, it's kind of like it was a scene off of the Matrix. When Morpheus takes Neo in, and they're fighting, and they're interacting together. Well, they helped me. pull everybody in. That's why your actions got results. I ain't touched nobody. I did it for yourself. It's kind of like pulling your own plug. You know, and it was amazing to me how easy it was. You know, and I'm telling you, they kept telling me, it's not going to be like you think. It's not going to be like you think. Just do it. It's time. Just do it. It's time. So I just did it.
And I had that day that I went across there, we told me, go across there. When I walked up there, it was like, I still can't really explain it, but and even now, at times, it's just like, I'm standing, and you're standing with me, and I'm standing for some, and just like in a time of representation of that.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I could be talking, and I don't know, what is, where it's coming from. Like, and when I start talking, I just like, wait a minute, stuff like that. But it just,
That man is hating
I
on
mean,
you.
I cannot explain that.
I bet you, I know now why they say we draw heat. I know that for sure.
Yeah, now I know we draw heat.
Who, that day, that day, that elder walking up here, everything in this pulpit was swinging. It was hot up here. This thing just all of a sudden got hot. I know it did, standing right there. It's like he brought a heat wave up to the pulpit. It got hot. And it's like, why so hot up here? What I was supposed to do? Yell out loud? It's a little spirit right there. Everybody say, Apostle, pray. Everybody pray. I'm fighting with the sugarwood cooker. You know, my father at times was trying. He didn't have it 100%, but he was trying to tell us. He was trying. I told him they had to sneak me out the back door to church. He had to sneak me there. Now he took me to the temple, the mosque, but they had to sneak me to service. Oh, I went to the temple mosque when I was little. I told him I saw when Elijah Muhammad was preached before he died. I saw this little spot, the bulletproof spot where he had the elevator above everybody. Never saw him because he was dead. People forget he didn't live, he wasn't living. They forget that Elijah Muhammad, Dr. King, and Malcolm X, they kind of, went behind each other. And Dr. King told Malcolm. Dr. King told Malcolm what was going to happen.
But I'm thinking about what you said about you as a child, and they took you one place, you had to sneak you to another. Okay, but
There wasn't no place.
they were saying so many different things that you introduced to.
I was around the Jews.
Okay.
I was around the Muslims. I was around the Christians. I was around the Catholics. I was around the Manifae. I was around the Yahweh. I was around the Yahwehs. I was around the Rastas. I was around the Haitians. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
But okay,
see, I was exposed.
Yeah, you was exposed. That's what I'm saying. You have been exposed to.
I was around the white dwarf cult that don't even exist no more.
Now this is your childhood?
Mm-hmm. Coming up. That's how when I came here, I knew. Remember I told them they look for what? Young white virgins. And they acted like that was great, but that little girl went missing. Though. That little girl went missing, and what was it, family and a great group.
But what I seem amazing now is okay because I didn't I'm just hearing until you just kept going different things. As a child, I would have been so confused. I would have been so confused.
I don't know.
That too. I mean,
Your innocence keeps you from the confusion. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Mhm. It's kind of like they sit you down on the floor with a whole bunch of toys.
Yeah.
Nobody can tell you which one to play with first. You figure it out. You just draw this, then you go with that. 10 children, room full of toys, 10 children fighting with one toy. I mean, it was so amazing that my father, uh, in his own way, he was trying to explain some things. Because see, I was even exposed to Jehovah's Witness. I mean, my uncles were, one of them still in that shit. I mean, I was even exposed to them around some of them. I mean, I kept wondering why am I around all this stuff. Look at all the workplaces I've been. I'm like, why? One time I had 4 jobs at one time. 2 part-time and one call and then 1 full-time. My first job, I lied about my age. That's how I did that. That's why I'm so adamant about you can really bless yourself in an independent way, more so than slave to somebody and making them rich. It's all in the power of you going forward and being forceful with what you're after. I think I spent a lot of time trying to see others obtain to the point where I forgot about me. Yeah, I really can see that. There's nothing you can bring to me that I can't help you. I don't care what it is. And it's not because I'm so fantastic. It's because of the posse. That's why I call it that.
And when I think about you now, it's like, because I was listening to you say, okay, well, some time back you said that you had to be silent until time came.
Yeah.
And that still, is something I would thought would be hard to do, but able to do that,
That wasn't easy.
to stay at a pace until until it was time, like until it was said, now it's time.
Well, I'm surprised I ain't running them so wearing a jacket to make me honest. I'm surprised. Because you have adults when you're small, it don't take too fast to some things that come out your mouth that you really are knowledgeable of. You don't know about it. You coming out with it, you know, my bottom lip got hit plenty times when I was small. What did you say? Pow. Was that it just would come out? You know, I mean, it is the time that we're in now. Uh, I think artificial intelligence is going to be the rival of spirituality, and these crackpots are uh, perverting spirituality to the point where when artificial intelligence flips, it's not going to be a whole bunch of spiritual people that can't rap. People say, he talking crazy. No, I'm talking right. It's happening now. Tell people, you know, when you see people using electronics that know how to use it, that's a valuable person. That's a valuable person. There are some jobs that are going to be done away with. They're just not going to exist anymore. You know, and then the way church is, churches are cold, but they don't want to come out and say it. You know, church life, religious organized church life, religious organized groups, cook your noodle until you can catch up and start thinking for yourself. And what I mean by cook your noodle, they have locked into the world. And the whole time they tell you don't do, they doing it right in front of your face. I mean, right in front of your face. So we have to now embrace the fact that we're not the trendsetters, no, we're the next way. That's 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 huge. He's like Sunday. An overseer said, I am. That was awesome. See, you ain't chosen. We just are. We just are. You know, it's gonna be a task, but we'll find others that are like us. We'll find. It might not be easy, but we'll find some like-minded people because we have it's in us to be the way we are. You know, sometimes it's a task, but it's in us to be the way we are. I told you my focus now is when you're not walking around here with your head down broke. You know, I look at over the years, we had some people that were starting to get well off, supposed, but they messed it up. And large amounts of money that people get, they throw it away. Put it in the wrong spot, using it for the wrong reasons, being more corrupt than the corrupt will. And then the world, man, we would call it, man, it was too much wrong and right mixed in together. You know? So, in closing tonight, I want to say this. Um, Not everybody can do what we're doing with that love. There's some places I wish they would call me in because it's time to free people's mind. You know, remember that imaginary friend that the person would have? And everybody says something wrong with them, but they really saw the person. They really talked to them. Well, that's Jesus. No, stop right there. That's Jesus too. Because Jesus was there and not over there. So I tell you, free your mind. Put it in the proper perspective. You know, when you have that imaginary friend, you never look by yourself. You know, so what we're finding out now is there's more to us than what we're talking. And we don't have to go and change how we dress and go putting a bone in our nose to embrace who we are. When I went over to Kenya, a lot of that stuff they show on National Geographic, I saw in them. A lot of that stuff is staged. And there's a lot of stuff that I did see, I had to shake my head. That's what happened when you befriend somebody and show them stuff. They said they're gonna come back and help you, and then when they come back and help you. But they took what you taught and ran with it and added to it, and took credit for it. And that's what happened. So I don't know what our people arguing and fighting with each other for. And they come over here mad at us. Nah, go back and take your country back. Get mad at us. Sure. Don't let America fool you, make it look like it's so perfect here. Now, the worst thing I see is when our own people degrade one another and turn on each other and use derogatory stuff that's designed to destroy us. And we use it on each other like it's okay. It ain't okay. Words are powerful. Sticks and stones, they break my bones, and words hurt people.
Mm.
You know, we made up that thing, words never hurt you alive, and the truth ain't in you. Words hurt. Words can help, words can encourage, words can build up, and words can tear down. Words have an effect. Yeah? Sticks and stones can't break your bones, and the name that hurt you is wisdom. Now, on that note, we're gonna have a righteous and blessed night. Nobody said anything on the line.
No, sir.
Love, hugs, prayer, and drumsticks for everybody. Have a prosperous, blessed holiday time. Look to see